Alright.
Okay.
The Persona series is 20 years old as of the time this video is uploaded.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know when this is gonna go up. It might be on the anniversary exactly, but who knows?
Ideally.
Ideally.
And it has gone a long way, especially in the West. It managed to make a JRPG that I'd feel almost rivals Final Fantasy VII in terms of its impact.
It's almost there.
It's almost there. It's definitely there in terms of merchandise.
Oh, absolutely.
Just to have a single entry in the series get the merchandise that it does is incredible.
That's very bizarre.
It is a rare occurrence
that would be like if Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were like the big game. Like, that doesn't happen.
Like, you may have a lot of throwbacks to an older game in the series, but you don't, like, make a shit ton of spin-offs for it.
Yeah, it's usually the series, or it's nothing.
It's either the series, the first game in the series...
Yeah.
Or it's nothing.
And that's why Persona 4 is such a fascinating creature, is because it evolved into something arguably way bigger than it ever should have been.
And there's a lot of, like, blame that can be tossed around, and... while we can't really speak for Japan, we do have a couple of game theories on the subject.
Excuse me, they're not game theories, they're fifth theories!
Fifth hypothesis.
Yes. 'Tis merely an educated fifth guess.
In the West, a lot of people started with Persona 4.
Did you?
I did not.
Oh, me either. How exciting.
Yeah, I was one of those weirdos who got exposed to it via cousin.
Okay. The cousin is always the introduction to, like, the worst shit.
Yeah.
And no good story can start with my cousin showed me blank.
My cousin showed me Revelations Persona as like, wow, this looks like dog shit.
Oh. And has your opinion on that issue changed?
Now I've played it, and now I can say, wow, this plays like dog shit. And you started with Persona 3, right?
Yes.
That's probably for the, like... That's the reasonable starting place.
Right.
But for a lot of people, starting with Persona 4 is completely normal.
Yeah, because that's the one that has the most exposure.
Yeah, it's the most exposure. It's the one that has the most presence in culture. Like, even in the West, where, like, we're all around this weird anime game, it's pretty big for a weird anime game in the West.
Yeah.
You have the incredibly quotable Haim Daisy comic.
Yeah, that's great.
You have pretty much the best Let's Play ever in the Persona 4 Endurance run.
I was actually watching some of that because you got the idea in my head, and it's still really good.
It's probably the best way to experience playing the game outside of actually playing the game.
Right. It's very comfy.
Yeah. And even if you aren't one of those people who are like, oh, I don't want to play a game or read an abridged series. I want to watch an anime. We got an anime and we got it dubbed.
Yeah, dog.
Getting dubbed anime isn't exactly a big thing.
Yeah.
So, to have Persona 4 the animation dub, that's kind of a big selling point for, wait, maybe this isn't some obscure weeb thing.
Right, we'll talk about the animation some more later.
So, because of all the, like, culture and sequels coming out for this entry in the series, it drew a lot of people to Persona 4.
Yeah.
Combined with the lack of ease of access for previous games in the series.
Persona 3 is, like, part of the like, I'm usually a purist about this sort of shit. Like, I'll try my best to play it in order. But, like, it's so hard to just play these, the first couple of games.
Yeah.
Because there's always something fucked up about every single, like, translation of it or release of it in the West.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem besides... Like, Persona 1 eventually got better in terms of the translation is fucking awful. But the gameplay of it is still very dated in the PSP port.
I have not played it yet. I want to play it one of these days, but I'm so busy.
The PSP port of Persona 1 is still very sluggish and retains a lot of the poor balance choices of the original. Persona 2 Innocent Sin portable actually makes the game even more easy than it originally was, and it was already the easiest game in the series.
Really?
Yeah, it makes Persona 4 the Golden look difficult.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Was the original game like that? Like, it was easy even on PS1?
The thing that makes Persona 2 so easy is the focus on fusion spells, which make your characters level up faster, as well as doing big dick damage.
Okay.
There's no real consequence to not using fusion spell.
Okay.
So, you basically play the game on autopilot, resulting in a very repetitive experience.
Okay.
Persona 3, I'd say, is the best off for starting the series.
Yeah, Persona 3 is easy. You just get it on PS2 or get it from fucking PSN.
Yeah. And if you really, like, feel like you need to be in control of your party members, there's the Persona 3.
Oh, right, it's on fucking PSP as well.
Yeah. And they added even more accessibility features to it.
Yeah.
So, starting with Persona 3 is a fair start. But as far as, like, I want to get knee-deep in Inaba so I can play Persona 4 the Ultimax, Persona 4 is by far the easiest to start with.
Absolutely.
Because all the methods you have, as well as it being the most playable of the games in the series.
Hey, Persona 3 is playable.
Yeah, but...
It has some peculiar sort of design choices, but...
Yeah. Like, to someone who doesn't really play much JRPGs, or plays a decent amount but nothing too hardcore, Persona 4 is the easiest to get into.
Right, that's part of why I think it became such a success, is because it's the everyman's JRPG.
Yeah. So, getting down to Persona 4 itself, there's probably the easiest thing to talk about, that's also kind of the hardest thing, is the plot.
Yes, the plot with big quotation marks.
The big focus of the post-Persona 2 Persona games is more on the characters than the larger overarching story that surrounds.
Right. Yes.
But for Persona 4, they do a good job at having a good storyline for a character-centric story.
Yeah, it works well for both, like, it being about characters and about being, like, on a schedule.
And part of this, why this works so well, is the setting of Inaba. Which is a perfect place for making everyday things seem fairly big.
Right. Because Inaba is such a small, shitty place.
It's just the right amount of shit that you can believe that such a place can exist.
Yeah.
It's the relatable kind of shit. It's like, yeah, it's a town that you lived in or drove by.
Yeah.
You've been to...
Like, the biggest attraction there is Junes. Which is like, we're not entirely sure what Junes is. Supposedly it's a mall, but it's too small to be like a mall.
And there's... everything in it is Junes brand.
It's like a kind of, like hybrid Walmart and a mall. It's very unusual.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just, like, a Japanese thing or what, but... Every day's great at your Junes, so what am I complaining about?
Every day's great.
Every day's great at your Junes.
But the small town has a kind of seedy underbelly.
Oh, does it?
In which creepy people shake people's hands and murders are happening.
Like people being thrown into a television.
Yes. The game opens with you moving into the town of Inaba. It's a very shitty type of town, but...
It's not that shitty.
Well, from the get-go, you see that a gas station attendant can be friendly with you.
Yeah.
And that's not something that you get in, like, a big city. It's something that can only work in Inaba, and it's a great moment that sets the tone for the rest of the game.
And ironically, the whole plot. Or maybe not ironically, I don't know.
Around your first day of school, you find out rumors about the Midnight Channel, as well as find out that some murders have been happening.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. Just a note about Persona games, and probably video games in general. Rumors are true.
Rumors are always at least partially true.
Yeah. So, if you hear one, you're going to try it out.
Right.
Now, this is a kind of doing things because the plot demands it kind of thing, but you stick your hand into the TV.
Yeah, and it works, of course.
It works.
Yeah.
This leads you to try it out at Junes with your friends, and eventually... and find Teddy.
Yeah.
Teddy reveals that someone has died in here, and this sets forth the motions for the rest of the game.
Right. So, remind me real quick, how do people end up outside of the TV again after they get killed?
They end up like Keiichi Nijimura and end up hung up on the telephone poles.
Yeah, I know, but how do they get out of the fucking, the TV world to begin with?
I don't know. Izanami works in mysterious ways.
Like, the TV, the what's it called? The TV world? The Shadow Realm, whatever. Like, fuck, what am I trying to say? Like, its form shifts.
Yes. When it rains,
it would make
the shadows get aggressive.
Yeah, for some reason.
It has something to do with the fog.
Yeah. So, like, does the universe in there just shift coincidentally in a way that lets them get out? Because, like, they can only get in through a TV, so logically they would have to come out another TV.
No, they can't. They come out through some wires.
Yeah.
This is never properly explained, because we never really see anyone die, unless you, like, purposely get a game over, but even then, you don't see the death happen. You just get a phone call that says, holy shit, they're dead. There is one exception to this later on in the game. But, we'll get to that.
Yes. So then what happens?
Finding out that this TV results in people's deaths, you sort of take it upon yourself to save people from suffering the fate that will eventually happen to them.
Yeah.
After saving a few of your to-be party members, you end up finding a person claiming to be the killer, Mitsuo Kubo.
Oh, I bet he's the killer. That's it. 20-hour game. It's over.
Hey, it's shorter compared to other JRPGs.
Yep. That's fine.
It is the most obvious fake thing. I don't think anyone
so fake.
I don't think anyone would believe that that is the final boss.
Oh no, you're a fucking retard if you did.
It doesn't even offer you the choice to think that this is the end.
Oh no, absolutely not.
To further drive home the point of there's no way this is the final boss, a sort of almost rival character of Naoto Shirogane says there's no way this is the final boss.
Yeah.
And uses herself as bait to...
It's so dumb.
Progress the plot along.
And with no camera set up, no like booby traps, no
because
wiretap.
if you set up a camera, the game would go faster than it is.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is...
The game would make sense then.
Yeah, you can't... Problem. You gotta have some reason to have this... Have her do such a thing, and then have it fail. That results in a killer. Now, there is an obvious
it would have made so much sense if it's like, I set up a camera, he took it.
That is a smart choice. But Atlas is not smart writers. They're almost...
They're not too smart.
They're about as smart as Naoto Shirogane. They got good...
There's elements of, like, subtle brilliance in this, but... It's, like, buried so deep in just schlock that it's hard to see.
There is brilliance here, but there are very dumb moments that really shine through. A lot of them
That's why I like Persona 3's plot so much more, is because it both makes more sense, and, like, as a whole, I think it's just more enjoyable and well thought out.
Now, as a murder mystery, this plot is complete garbage.
Right, it's crap.
But as a overall, like, things tie together beautifully.
Oh, fantastically. It's, like, so well interwoven.
Yeah. The murder mystery, that's schlock. That's garbage.
Right, that's crap.
But the way that this all works together is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So, upon failing to find out who the killer is because she forgot to put up cameras because she was afraid of heights.
Oh. Okay.
The killer eventually reveals themselves as they attempt to make their escape into the TV.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't the culprit because, well, he is the culprit, but there's no reason why he would say what he says if he was the culprit.
Yeah.
And that's a subtle brilliant to this.
Right, like, the funny thing about it is that Namatame causes more shit than the actual bad guy.
Well, he doesn't cause anyone to die. Well, he causes someone to die, but they come back to life.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Everything that happens with Namatame is complete garbage.
It's pretty crappy. I just like the way that it's more like his relationship with Adachi and how they're connected rather than like what he actually does.
Yeah.
Like what he does makes sense to him.
Yeah. The fact that it makes sense to him is more interesting than the fact that he did it and what happens when he does it.
The reason why he does it in the first place is stupid as fuck too.
But the reason why he keeps doing it is brilliant.
Right, because you are, like, fixing his problem.
And
like, the whole reason he's throwing people in is because, like, whoever shows up on the TV dies, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, alright, I'm gonna throw him in there. And then you go in and save them. And then he's like, I did it!
Hey!
Hey,
I'm gonna get myself some... Gonna get myself some drinks, maybe a beef bowl.
I like that idea. Like, every time Namatame sees one of the people he threw in the TV walking around just fine, he's like, woo! He goes and celebrates.
Yeah, he gets a beef bowl for himself.
Yeah.
Slice of cake. That's when he has his comfort food.
Yeah.
Now, from here, the game can either just end because you thought he was the final boss, or you can press forward and reach out to the truth. If you choose to reach out to the truth, then the town gets covered in fog, and then you reach the true killer. When things get here, the stakes get a bit more tense than it was with
the stakes have been raised.
Yeah. Because, well, before, if you failed, then, someone died. Here, if you failed, then everyone becomes shadows, and shadows come out of the TV and just start It's a chaos ending.
Right. It pretty much is.
Except that you aren't strong enough to live in this world of strength, and neither are your friends.
No.
You get a very terrifying Naoto death scream. I was linked to it once. I was like, no. If you do manage to complete his dungeon, and it is a very it's a dungeon that kind of tries, but at the same time one of the floors is just a spiral.
Oh, I remember that fucking place.
It's just a spiral, and then you have to
kind
walk
of tries.
back.
Dude, that's the perfect description of Persona 3 and 4 dungeons. They kind of try.
No, like, there are things that happen in this dungeon. Like, you need to go you need to backtrack and do things to get to other places. But at the same time, one floor is a spiral. That you have to go in and then backtrack out.
If this was Strange Journey, that would have been like 4% of the dungeon. Is just that.
But here it's a fucking floor. And one of the floors, like, has the gimmick of, alright, don't get into any fights. And that's almost a gimmick. It's not a fun one.
No, not at all.
It is a shitty Persona 4 dungeon, but it's the one that tried. It has, like, one of those shitty "you tried" stickers. It's the only dungeon here to win a participation award.
Wow, the other ones didn't even make an attempt. Don't bully dungeons, kun.
Pressing forward, you confront Adachi and find he's already a shadow. But he's also a Sagiri. And it's unclear what a Sagiri is at this point.
Like, okay, so what happens with Adachi is that a giant mass of shadows that is Amino Sagiri forms. And Amino Sagiri sort of uses Adachi's body as, like, a catalyst to exist. But with fucking Namatame, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Sagiris are poorly explained, and they try to explain it later on, but it never really feels like a satisfying conclusion.
Right.
Are they named after anything in mythology?
Not as far as I'm aware. I'm sure if I looked into it, I would get an answer.
That's the demonology for another day.
Yeah.
For another part of this retrospective. After defeating Amino Sagiri, the town is now free of, and you've stopped the murders from happening.
Ooh.
This is a good ending.
Yeah. This is fine. The game could have ended here.
Yeah. If you thought that was the final boss, it's understandable.
Right.
But if you press for the truth further and asked, wait, why did this happen?
Yeah.
Then you get your true ending. And honestly, the final boss of the true ending is pretty bad. Just because it has a boss fight. Well,
yeah, this is something that we both agree on, is that the animation handled this better. Like, the problem with this is that it's a video game.
So it has to have a final boss fight. But this boss doesn't really want to see how strong your human spirit is. It wants to see if you actually want something.
Right.
And it's hard to convey want in a final boss fight. The only thing that this final boss fight does well is Izanami's ultimate attack, Thousand Curses.
Yeah, that shit is awesome.
It creates a bone-chilling sound effect and straight out removes the character from existence.
That is the scariest shit ever.
They aren't KO'd. You aren't sure if they're dead or just don't exist anymore.
Oh, it's so scary.
They are fucking shadow realmed right now. soul gone. And after that happens to you, eventually, you get your friendship speech, and then you animate your way to victory.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a very satisfying ending in the game.
Izanami, I don't think is very satisfying. I like the final little bit where all the social link people and you get Izanagi no Okami. I think that's all cool. But it's like the setup to that, I don't really care for too much. Mostly because I don't think it makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Izanami's whole thing is that she wants to, like, test humanity to see if they care about the truth or whatever. I just don't understand why.
I don't really care for why. I just don't... I don't care for why she did it. I care for why she's doing this. Why is she fighting me right now after I pressed for the truth this much?
Right, like, she should just be like, congratulations, you figured it out. But then, instead, she's like, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Congratulations, you figured it out. Now come fight me.
Yeah.
And you don't know why you're fighting her.
Yeah, there's not a good reason for it. Like, the ending would have been better if it's like, you pester the gas station attendant and they reveal their true form, like, congratulations, you done it.
But then what would the final boss be?
There wouldn't be one.
Exactly. But I can't see... But Izanami straight up challenging you to a fight and trying to kill you goes against her goals here.
Right.
Because...
Like, the whole thing was she's doing this dumb experiment with, like, the TV world and people being thrown in and whatnot.
Then her killing you makes no sense.
Right, she should be, like, proud of you.
Yeah. Like, for her to attack you is for her to say that she is disappointed with the results of this.
Yeah.
Which seems kind of stupid and silly.
Like, Amino Sigiri made way more sense, because he's just a collection of what he thinks humanity wants. He's kind of similar to, like, Nick's avatar in that way. And so, Amino Sigiri makes more sense, because he's like, I'm going to test and see if, like, whose will is stronger, yours or all of humanity.
But Izanami is just, you know, like, alright, who's stronger? You
Who's stronger at the truth? Like, no, we figured out the truth, bitch. It's you. There's no point in this.
It is a pointless fight, and towards the end, it's just a cutscene.
Yeah.
It's not even a satisfying big boss fight like Nick's avatar was.
Right.
And Nick's himself, even though he was just a cutscene, he was a satisfying cutscene.
Oh, yeah. Like, Nick's avatar is a long-ass fight, but it's satisfying because he changes his form all the time.
Mm-hmm. What would happen if Izanami actually did kill you? When she was just trying to
I guess that would be the
you?
fucking end of it.
Like, what would she do then? It's like,
she'd be like, well, better go shake some more hands.
I guess they didn't want the truth enough, or else they wouldn't have died when I killed them. Or else they wouldn't have died when I killed them with my power to cause death. That was a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
And then when you beat her, she's just like, good job. I'm going...
Congratulations.
I'm gonna go home now.
Like, you logically shouldn't even be... You can't kill her. She's a goddess.
Yeah. And you don't. She just sort of...
You don't. She gives up because she's like, alright, you got Izanagi no Okami. I'm done.
Does you having Izanagi no Okami even make sense? Because... Izanagi is not his persona. Izanami gave it to him. She gave everyone Izanagi.
Maybe how it works is, like... His persona then becomes Izanagi. Like, it would have been something else, but instead it manifests itself as Izanagi.
This is...
I don't know, fuck.
This is the true ending is a fucking mess, but... the animation handles it in such a way that I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely like the true ending in the animation.
Yeah, it's a lot better. Parts of his whole story are just kind of designed to be like not anime. A video game. Right.
When you make it interactable, that's when things start to get holes in it.
Right. Like the whole throwing Namatame into the TV.
Yeah. Like, that's another sequence that was just a fuck fest.
Or the investigations you do, those suck.
I wish there was a way to avoid those.
Yeah.
Like, I want to just, like, find Naoto on the streets and have there be, like, an exclamation point over her head. And then be able to just pay her to solve the case.
That would have been so much better.
Yeah. It would save you days.
Mm-hmm.
It'd bypass the investigations. It would allow Naoto to do something before she joins the party. There's just a lot of ways that is a good idea that just doesn't happen because this needs to be a video game.
Absolutely,
and yeah. You need to solve things yourself. I feel like if this weren't interactable, I feel like Naoto would have been able to put up that camera.
Yeah.
And the biggest, like, this is something that happened because it's a video game thing, is what Yukiko does.
Oh my god.
And what Yukiko does is the dumbest fucking thing in this entire mystery plot.
Tell us what Yukiko does.
Alright. So while you're towards the end of the game, you're trying to find out who the true killer is. And then Yukiko's like, oh yeah, Adachi was the only person in the room when Mayumi turned to the TV.
Oh, it's fucked. It's so fucked.
She never thought to mention that.
Yukiko is a brilliant gem.
And that's part of why I feel a lot of people have some problems with the Persona 4 cast, is because they need to do video game things. They need to do things to make you the one who solves them.
Mm-hmm.
And with that in mind, let's move on to the characters.
Oh, about fucking time.
We got a pretty good cast here.
Yeah.
Not great.
Good, debatable.
I'd say they're good.
I have a very special word that I like to use to describe these guys, and it's marketable.
Kind of feel like an important place to start here is with our protagonist.
Absolutely.
He goes by many different names. Jamal, Yuno Akami, Soji Seta,
Charlie Tanoku,
Kenpachi Ramasama. The name
Mayor McCheese.
He goes by many different names.
Yes.
And one thing that is consistent amongst all of him is his unique responses that he gets as a protagonist.
Yeah.
A common thing with silent protagonists is they will have a couple of normal options, then one weird option, but the weird option is different from protagonist to protagonist.
The Persona 3 protagonist, his shit is the best. He always has like a dedicated I don't give a fuck option.
Tatsuya Suo's weird options were always either autistic or manly.
The autistic ones are good.
Yeah. You also get that with Devil Survivor's protagonist.
Oh, Devil Survivor 2's protagonist is like my favorite because he's so stupid.
Yeah. But Yu's answers aren't exactly stupid. They're more
like dopey.
Yeah. Like
he doesn't know what's going on.
He doesn't know what's going on, or he doesn't really mind.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to mind anything. Like you could just you could put things on him. You could balance a table. You could balance some books on his head, and you would just be like, "Oh, this is fine."
Oh, this is fine.
He would stare at you stonewalled as you just sort of put things on him.
In the animation, he's the best because he's so blank-faced.
It's not like a Persona 3 protagonist blank-faced. He's deadpan in his own.
Like the Persona 3 protagonist just doesn't give a shit. The Persona 4 guy, he doesn't know what's going on.
He doesn't know how to give a shit.
He's like Osaka from Azumanga Daioh.
And unlike other protagonists where their weird options will start to fade as the game progresses, you consistently has a dopey option.
Yeah.
And that's something I kind of like about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like him.
He doesn't have a shadow in the games, but he does
due to plot things.
He does have a couple of shadow-like encounters in the animation.
Mm-hmm.
Against Mitsuo and against Izanami. The Mitsuo encounter is a fear of losing his friends as the case is solved.
Okay.
And the Izanami is a fear of losing his friends as time progresses.
That's not really a shadow, though, because a shadow is something you don't want to accept. That's just something he doesn't want to happen.
Yeah. But there were, like, a bunch of, like, TVs with a shadow you on them being like, I don't want to be alone. I don't exactly remember what the shadow you said. I just remember that it was an illusion created.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I thought was kind of interesting. But in the game proper, he has no shadow.
Right.
And as for its appearance, it was a stack of TVs.
Yeah.
Not exactly anything major going on. He also doesn't have a dedicated persona for himself, unless you count Izanagi no Okami. Because Izanagi was a gift.
So what do you think about Izanagi? So we might as well just say that's his persona.
Yeah. Izanagi has a very cool design. It is based off of Japanese cheer squads, like you'd see in Oendan. And I feel like that is a very good design choice for a protagonist to have, especially one in such a story like this.
Yeah.
Because
especially because he's, like, the leader of this group of retards.
Yeah. He is a cheer squad in himself. You call the elite beat agents and you is there. How would you say the you is marketable?
Okay, so you is a magnificent protagonist because he has a personality that's very, like, self-insertable.
Mm-hmm.
But on the opposite side of the spectrum, he's like everybody wants his dick in Persona 4.
Yes.
And that's a very feel-good kind of thing for people.
Yeah, I can see that. But how does that make
that's part of why I like Persona 3 more, is because you gotta work to make those people your friends. Like, in Persona 4, they just loved your penis from the get-go.
Not everyone.
Not all of them, but the majority of them pretty much do.
Yeah. To be fair, this is part of the Inaba setting.
Yeah.
People in cities are less likely to just accept new people.
Right, they got other shit to do, too.
Yeah. Whereas in Inaba, nobody really does anything. Like, a new friend is like something else to do on weekends.
Yeah.
So I could see why they'd attach to you faster.
Mm-hmm.
Especially someone like Yosuke, who is actively bored of everything here.
Yes.
And I guess that brings us to Yosuke.
Oh, Yosuke! Oh man,
Now,
what a good transition.
Of all the best friend archetypes of the Persona series, you're trying to figure out if Brown or Mark was the best friend in Persona 1.
Fucking shit if I know.
Well, Brown was an optional party member, so I guess I'll go with...
Okay.
Between Mark, Kichi, Junpei, I guess maybe Ulala, and Yosuke. Yosuke is definitely the weakest link.
Oh, absolutely. I haven't even played Persona 2, I already like Kichi more.
But the thing about that is, he is a bad best friend, but he is a pretty good supporting character.
Mm-hmm.
He has the best interactions with Teddy by nature of them not being the worst. He has good interactions with Chie. Like, they have a less antagonistic relationship than Yukari and Junpei did, or
Yeah.
Ikichi and Lisa, or Mark and pretty much everyone. No one likes a black person.
Like, Chie will kick Yosuke's ass, but it's more like a playful kind of thing. Like, Yukari will just ignore Junpei.
Yeah. Like, she doesn't want to talk to Junpei when he doesn't have to.
It's like, what's worse, a playful kick in the dick or just getting ignored?
Yeah. I'm sure Yosuke's approved of these dick kicks.
Yeah, he probably likes it on some level.
Yeah. It's a shame that, for the most part, his interactions are with the protagonist, as he kind of acts as a mouthpiece for him.
Yeah.
And
he sucks your dick.
Yeah.
In a gay way.
Yeah.
The relationship between Junpei and the three protagonists was so believable because he starts off, like, really jealous, and you kind of get that from Yosuke.
But at the same time, he's like, oh, your dick is so big.
Gosh, partner.
It'll never
I
fit
wish
inside.
I had one like that.
It's pretty clear that that's a big part of his popularity, especially in Japan, where they love that.
That's
shit.
part of why he's so marketable, but we'll talk about that after Shadow and Persona.
Yeah. One thing I do like about him is that he is also a transfer student. He got there a year before you did, but he still has been in your shoes, though you are much better at being in your own shoes than he ever
Plus, he's
was.
a city boy.
Yeah. He looks like a city boy.
Yeah, he does.
Especially with those headphones.
Mm-hmm. Like, we still listen to vinyl around here, mister.
Why is everyone Inaba Texan now? Why are you doing a dribble? Brings us to Yosuke's persona and Shadow, and his shadow design is pretty bad as far as shadows go.
It's a little too goofy looking, but maybe that was the point?
Well, it isn't the point. Like, how does a goofy frogman represent his troubles with this town?
It does not at all.
Yeah.
Like, none of the personas really reflect, like, the struggle they went through. The shadow is more that, but even his shadow just looks like evil his persona.
Yeah. But his persona represents, like, what he's using his persona for pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
With its plastic-like appearance and hero-like design as far as Yosuke is concerned.
Yeah.
It is a toy to become a hero.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty solid.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it, but it's alright.
It is a good design for a first, like, party member persona.
Yeah, it's fine.
Now, Susanoo is dog shit.
He is so dumb. I kind of like how stupid it is, though.
I feel like it didn't get dumb enough for me until Golden.
Yeah.
Then it was dumb enough for me.
I don't know, I think Takehaya Susanoo, or whatever that thing is called, is a lot cooler. Like, regular Susanoo just looks so goofy.
Looks stupid, and I don't see what they're going for with it. Now, you say that his marketability is because of his blatant homo lust, right?
Yes. That is what I think, is because he's, like... Japan loves Yosuke.
Mm-hmm.
Because Japan, I don't know why they're like this, but they have so little self-esteem. And Yosuke is just like a pocket, like, therapist for them.
Pocket therapist?
He's like a pocket therapist that you don't actually talk to. He's just like, you did great today, champ.
Champ?
Champ?
Why is Yosuke dad now?
So I think that's the Yosuke appeal.
Now, for a character that a lot of people find very appealing, Chie.
Yeah, let's talk about Chi.
Chie is a very normal girl.
Mm-hmm.
And that is as deep as she really gets in Persona 4 Vanilla. A lot of her traits that would become who she is in later games isn't really played up here.
Right, the funny thing is that a lot of this shit starts off as, like, jokes.
Yeah. Like, how often is meat really mentioned outside of...
Not that often at all.
Like, lunch discussion. And she's only talking about meat because she is eating meat.
Yeah, exactly.
And Kung Fu, well, that's something that she does talk about quite a bit.
Yeah, like, she's got the whole thing where she almost kills Yosuke over the DVD, and then she trains all the time.
Mm-hmm. She's trying to become a Dragon Ball character.
Yeah, I don't blame her.
I kind of like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Because she does seem like the type of person to imitate Dragon Ball moves in her backyard. That's kind of where a lot of the appeal... I feel like the bulk of the appeal comes from liking the Kung Fu movies. Because that is a very basic tomboy trait that isn't too unbelievable.
Like, Chie in Persona 4 is cool. Like, I would hang out with Persona 4 Vanilla Chie.
Her voice is very calm, too.
Yeah, it's nice and, like, low-key and soothing.
Yeah. Like, she can get emotional when it calls for it.
But most of the time, she's, like, a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we both completely understand that her newer voice is closer to the Japanese voice, but we still like the original English voice more.
Because that's how...
Like, it's just more pleasant to our ears.
Yeah. As far as we Americans are concerned, that is how people talk in English. And that's something that's kind of a big problem when dubbing anime and trying to sound kawaii, is it doesn't sound like people talk how people talk.
Yeah.
Like, if someone was constantly kawaii ugu when they talked, it would get on people's nerves really fast.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably part of why Rise is kind of annoying to us, is because she tries to do the whole kawaii voice thing.
Yeah. And that's something that she's actively trying to do, though.
Yeah.
Well, Chia's character isn't exactly complex, and she is a 3-note character. You don't really notice that she's a 3-note character in this until you actually think about who is Chia.
Mm-hmm.
Her character can be summed up in meat, Kung Fu, Yukiko.
Yeah.
You'll find those things a lot more obvious in the future, but for now, you'll have to actually, like, do some thinking to be like, wait a minute, that's all she was. That's all she can say.
Yeah, but that's fine, because now, like, she doesn't have a lot of room to be horrible with that.
Yeah. She didn't have to constantly bring it up.
Yeah.
That said, her and Yukiko were practically conjoined at the hip.
They might as well have been.
And that's part of her issue with her shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And her shadow is a very interesting point in conversation.
Yeah. So let's talk about her shadow.
Alright, Chia's shadow resents how perfect Yukiko is.
Mm-hmm.
How she's a perfect Japanese beauty. And Chie is a weird tomboy. And it's played pretty subtly compared to other, like, tomboy who doesn't want to be tomboy thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird for that to manifest itself as a weird dominatrix thing.
Yeah, this has never made sense to either of us. Is why it turns into this.
It has parallels to her persona, but it has nothing to do with her issues, and I don't know why the stack of girls is there.
Yeah, me either. Like
Chie never.
It would make more sense if it's like a girl stack on top of her, or it's just like one girl.
Yeah, because.
But why is there the girl stack?
Yeah, because her problem is that she feels like she is carrying Yukiko on this pedestal, and that Yukiko is someone that she will never be, but she wants to be.
Yeah.
So in a sense, I feel like the girl stack should be on top of her, with like one extra beautiful girl on the very top. And like over the course of the fight, she'd like throw the girls in the girl pile at you.
You know, it should have been the base shadow should have been like this ugly looking thing.
Which it kind of is.
It kind of is, but you can barely see it because it's covered in the fucking banana suit.
Yeah.
But it should have been like this ugly thing carrying like a beautiful woman.
Yeah. Though, you might say that's too on the nose.
That's true, but I would rather have it be too on the nose than be either not make sense or it's just too vague. Or maybe it's so deep we just don't even get it.
Yeah. Maybe this is just a metaphor for Chie really wanting some lesbian sex.
Mm-hmm. I don't blame her.
Are we still going to do that thing where we discuss what their fetishes would be, or is that...
Absolutely. At least one. At least one.
Alright.
So what about her persona?
Alright. Her persona is very straightforward with what her interest and character is.
Yeah.
While you might say that having interest as a personality is kind of cop-out, I never really feels like that with Chie.
Yeah.
She's just enthusiastic.
Yeah, her personality is that she's like a tomboy. Like, she's kind of plain, but like, Chie feels like pretty real to me. Like, a Chie is somebody who could conceivably exist.
Yeah. You could bump into a Chie once in your life.
Yeah.
Oh, when I went to a Panda Express the other day, I found a girl wearing a Chie jacket.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you get her number?
Fuck no, I don't want to...
Where are you, Jerry?
Gay.
Was she at least cute?
Not like fat, but... She had like...
She had a little bit of chunk?
She had like one of those fat faces.
One of those fat faces?
Yeah, the round ones.
I would have to see.
Yeah.
To make
you
my
know
own
those
analysis.
round Asian faces, where their body
One of
isn't
those?
too fat, but her face seems like it could be on a fatter body than...
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she was even ordering some beef.
Oh.
That's how I knew that she was a Chie.
How about that?
All she had to do was say, Yukiko Kung Fu, and then I would...
And you would have been like, are you Chie?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Like, are you Chie IRL?
Yukiko Kung Fu, that's just the entire statement. That's golden Chie.
Yeah.
Like, vanilla Chie would just sort of like pant a bit and be like, why are you panting? Oh, I was doing some Yukiko Kung Fu.
Well, you gotta mention the meat.
Well, no, but she's
some
implying
Yukiko
to get
Kung
me.
Fu meat.
I was doing some Yu-Gi-Oh! Kung Fu, and now I'm tired, so I'm going to get some meat.
Yeah. Do you like my new kawaii voice? It's better.
No, if it was the kawaii voice, she'd just be like, Yukiko's meat Kung Fu.
There's only Yukiko meat.
As for Chie's marketability, this is your area of expertise.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, let's play a game. What do you think it is?
First girl factor.
That's part of it. I mean, her and Yukiko are basically introduced at the same time.
Yeah, but she's the first party member.
That's true.
Plus, this might just be me being one of those people who liked Final Fantasy VII and doesn't hate it for unclear reasons.
It's the most popular. Did you know that Final Fantasy VI is better? Because marginally less people have played it. It's true.
Final Fantasy VI is better because the world of Ruin is the best thing to come out of video games.
Yeah, but I also don't like how a lot of people played Final Fantasy VII. And so that's why it's worse. It's a fact. It's just a theory. A game theory.
Final Fantasy... It might be my Final Fantasy VII goggles on, but I kind of see a Tifa-Aerith dynamic with Chie and Yukiko.
Mm-hmm.
With
I see
Chie being the rougher one, who's actually a lot softer, whereas Yukiko is the very, like, plain normal girl who you'd expect.
Who's actually a psychopath killer.
Who's actually quite spunky and psychopathic, almost. She's got a dark side.
Mm.
But what's your game theory? What's your educated guess?
Okay, here's my theory about Chie. This isn't really a theory. Chie's appeal is, like, I mean, we just mentioned it. She's like a tomboy and she's energetic. And she's like kawaii or whatever. She's not really like kawaii. But she fits a niche that none of the other girls quite do. Like, she's nice and in between that, like, boy area between, like, Yukiko and Rise and actually having a penis like Naoto. She's nice in the middle.
I don't know. Does middle of the road really appeal?
Absolutely. It is very important to have a middle of the road.
Well, name some other middle of the roads that work.
Fucking Yuffie.
Yuffie is not middle of the road.
You are right. You are right.
Yuffie is 100% smug ninja. She's 200% like, yeah!
Yeah.
Her limit break is Grease Lightning.
Go Grease Lightning, go Grease Lightning.
That Yuffie is not middle of the... Like...
You're right.
I can't think of many middle of the roads.
Okay, think about it like this. Instead of it being a road, it's like a triangle. Okay?
A triangle.
And there's three sides to this triangle, as triangles usually have. On one side, you've got the girly kinds, like Rise and fucking Yukiko.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side, there's Chie. And then on the third side, there's Naoto.
But you said that she was middle of the road.
No, now it's a triangle.
What does this third side mean? This means nothing now. What makes her part of the Holy Trinity?
No, it's not a trinity, there's four of them.
Why is it a triangle? There's four of them!
Okay, think of it like a square with four sides.
Alright. Before, like, my brain explodes, let's move on to Yukiko.
Okay, there's one more thing about this. This applies to all of them. I don't know if this is just my autism or if this is actually a part of it, but there's a brilliant sort of color coordination going on with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Chie is green, Yukiko's red, Naoto's blue, and Rise is like pink.
Well, Fuka was blue. I guess was white.
She was like blue-green.
I guess was white.
I guess it was more like white and yellow. Like, this is part of why the Persona 3 girls aren't as marketable.
Because they don't have colors.
It's because they don't have autism colors. Like, Yukari's the only one that kind of has an autism color, but, like, it's not as... Like, it's just one pink.
What?
Like, when you think of Rise, what comes to your head? Pink, right?
So, you're saying when I think of Rise, I'm supposed to think pink?
Color-wise. No, there's a brilliance to this, is that it makes your brain think of color, and then color is the character. And your brain likes simple things.
Alright.
It likes pattern recognition.
Yukiko is a very polarizing character in Persona 4. It's hard to, like, on one hand, she is a very plain Japanese girl that you've seen dozens of times before.
Have I? Like in real life or in fiction?
In fiction.
Oh, okay, sure. Name 3.
Alright. Alright, off the top of my head, Sailor Mars.
Okay. Well, she's basically Yukiko.
Yeah. This is just, like, the traditional, like, waifu type.
Yeah.
Yuna from Final Fantasy X.
Okay.
She even wears a kimono.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And, oh yeah, Yukiko.
Oh yeah, Yukiko from what's she from?
Persona 4.
Oh, right.
I've probably never heard of it.
No, I haven't.
We're talking about it.
Oh, are we?
I think so. But yeah, it is a very simple archetype.
Yeah. It fills an important niche, though.
Yes. But on the other hand, Yukiko has a weird side.
Yeah.
She has a very unrefined laugh. Which
somehow her weird side manages to be both the best part of her character and the most annoying part.
She has a very strange sense of humor, too.
Yeah.
She doesn't laugh at things that are funny, but she'll laugh at things that are kind of bad.
Such as?
She laughs at the pain of others.
Yes.
And others' shortcomings.
Okay. I don't remember that.
Additionally, she is incapable of cooking.
Oh, is she? What a unique and interesting character trait.
Yeah, especially coming from the High Priestess Archon.
Oh yes, how exciting. Persona 4 is just a Persona 3 ripoff, man.
It's almost like it's a sequel or...
I know, it's almost like they're in the same series or something. Like, what the fuck?
So because of this, it's hard to, like, say that Yukiko belongs to the weird girl camp or the very normal girl.
Yeah, she's bipolar in a way. It's like, I'm not quite sure what the appeal is. Like, my gut says it's just how boring and plain she is.
But your heart says it's her weirdness.
And my dick says it's just how she looks.
Yeah, she has a very appealing design.
Oh, Yukiko's hot.
Yeah, she casts the Aji spell. Amagi Dine. Whoa.
Amagi Dine!
Yeah. That should have been her special, like, technique that she got.
Her instant kill?
Yeah, that should have been her instant kill.
Dude!
The Amagi
Dine.
She also fills the traditional waifu role, healer.
Yeah.
And that tends to be the role that the love interest gets. It's the very plain waifu role.
Yeah, exactly. There needs to be more dudes in fiction that, like, heal and they're proud of it.
And not like in a paladin type heal where they hit super hard, take damage, but also heal. You're talking like they use a staff.
Yeah.
Yukiko's shadow is... wait a minute, I feel like there's something I'm missing here. Oh yeah, Yukiko and Chi are still conjoined at the hip.
Oh yeah,
even more so from Yukiko's perspective.
Because I like their dynamic they have going on, though.
While Chie had hobbies outside of Yukiko, I can't really...
Like, I don't know what what does Yukiko do other than fucking,
work at the inn.
Right, this is something that I've come up with to know if your character has any sort of depth, is to ask this question. What do they like?
That's not a... I'd say it's more than that. It's how do they react to... And then you just name a couple of inane things.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from Chie and not the inn, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what you...
Yeah, I don't know what she likes. Like, she obviously doesn't like this traditional shit.
But that's not entirely true. But that shines more in later entries in the series.
Mm-hmm. So does she just get used to it, or what?
There are parts of Japanese culture that she digs.
Okay.
I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but in Persona Q, which you did review...
Yes, I did.
She refers to Koromaru affectionately using the names of various Japanese warlords.
Okay.
Like, oh, Nobunaga, you're so cute.
Okay.
So she's into that. She at least likes Nobunaga's ambition.
Yeah.
But as far as the rest of this Japanese bullshit, I can't imagine she's into it.
Nah.
Seeing how much she resents it and wants to leave it.
And she doesn't want to be like a Japanese doll or whatever she says.
Yeah. And that's something I like about her Shadow's design when it's in a human shape.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the form of a princess, which is a distinctly Western thing.
Yeah.
Because Japanese princesses dress like how Yukiko dresses on a day-to-day basis.
Pretty much.
But, like Princess Shadow Yukiko here, she is a very Western princess.
Mm-hmm.
She has knights and not samurai. And that's a nice contrast they have going on. And then the shadow turns into a bird in a cage, and then it's just fucked.
You know, I wonder what that could symbolize. You know, I've thought about it for a long time. It's really puzzled me.
I think it means she feels like a bird in a cage.
I think you're overthinking it.
I feel like they could have done more. Like, even if they just said it's a princess in a tower, that is better.
Like, there's three kinds of shadows. There's, like, the ones that don't make any sense, like Yosuke's and Chie's, and the ones that are just so blatant.
Mm-hmm. But then what's the third kind?
Did I say there's three kinds?
Yeah.
Am I high? Okay, the third kind is, like, almost good.
Yeah.
Like, Naoto's. Naoto's, you have some stuff to talk about there.
Yeah. And... No, I was going to say Mitsuo, but no, not Mitsuo.
No, not really. Now, do you think Chie and Yukiko are slightly gay for each other?
At least in these years, yes.
Yeah, I do very wholeheartedly believe this, that if the protagonist had not shown out, they would have made out at some point.
I think they would have at some point, but then would have just eventually decided, you know, I think
they would have stopped.
Friends. Yeah.
They would have been best friends who have also kissed and maybe touched each other's pussies at some point.
Oh, that's just lewd, man.
That is lewd, I'm sorry. Ruined our rated G discussion about Persona 4.
An M-rated game.
Yes. Which is pretty surprising. I don't think this really deserves to be M-rated. Like, what's even in it that makes it M?
Shadow Kanji.
That's true. Was Persona 3 rated M or T?
I believe it was M, but they had a reason there. People were shot, and they shot themselves.
Well, there is murder in Persona 4. But you don't really see it.
Yeah. It's more of their corpses in Persona 4.
Yeah.
Because nobody is explicitly murdered on screen. Yukiko's persona has interesting parallels to Yu's in that it is also a cheerleader. But while Yu's was a Japanese cheer squad type cheerleader, Yukiko's takes on a Western cheerleader.
There's a lot of, like, Western shit going on with her shadow and persona.
Which I like, because she She's a Westaboo.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that. Like, her being is so Japanese that on the inside she just wants to be Western as fuck.
Yukiko celebrates the 4th of July.
Yeah, her mom, like, slaps her when she sees her doing that.
Yukiko wearing one of those Uncle Sam hats.
I like the idea of Yukiko dressing up, like, as a cowboy, just to piss off her mom.
And then saying, howdy, partner, in a very thick Japanese accent. Howdy, partner. When it becomes Amaterasu, it loses the... it loses everything, really.
Damn.
It is featureless.
Well, it's a representation of Yukiko's character.
But Yukiko is not... That is how she is on the outside.
Dude, Yukiko is such a fascinating, deep character.
Kanji is the most... It's something that people are kind of... There's an almost unanimous consensus that Kanji is good.
Mm-hmm. Out of all the characters that have, like, the best reputation, it's, like, Kanji and then...
Dojima.
Dojima.
Yeah.
Nanako is pretty up there, too.
Yeah. Mary Mac and Cheese, you're talking about Kanji.
Okay, so, what is there to even say about Kanji other than he's the greatest fictional character to ever be in Persona 4?
Wait, what?
What?
Fuck, I love mac and cheese.
It's okay, I guess.
Kanji's appearance is very intentional on his part.
Yeah.
He is trying to look this way.
Mm-hmm. With the piercings and the white hair and whatever.
Yeah. Now, when you compare his drag portrait to his regular portrait, you will find quite a few of his notable features in his regular outfit missing. Revealing that they're probably fake.
Such as?
I believe the piercings and scar are missing.
Oh, really? So the scar is, like, fake?
I'm not 100% sure about the scar. I'm going to double check.
I know the piercings he can probably just take out.
Well, yeah, but there's no hole.
Yeah, so they're fake.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It was, like, yeah. I'm going to double check drag Kanji real quick. Like... Of course, even if the scar were gone, it could just be makeup.
Yeah.
But seeing the rest of the makeup, I doubt... I doubt they went that far. Shit. Firefox is being slow. What internet browser do you think Kanji uses?
I think he's too intelligent for the likes of Internet Explorer.
Is
more
he?
like a Chie browser. I think he is.
Alright, the scar is still there.
Okay. The scar might be real.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, because he does get into a lot of fights.
Now the question is, did he get that from a fight or a freak knitting accident?
Maybe both.
What's your call on this?
My call? I'm gonna say fight.
I'm gonna say knitting accident, but he'll say it's a fight.
Oh, okay.
He's like, yeah, I was fighting 20 dudes. There were 20 dudes on me, in me.
Okay.
That's how I got this scar.
You, like, turned into a robot.
Am I still like that?
You're fine. Now you're fine. This is for 1 second.
You know what else is great about Kanji?
Oh, what?
He has one of my favorite, like, dumb things. and that's characters that use shields as their weapon.
Yes.
It is a
he uses just like shit as his weapon.
His initial weapon is a chair. But his later weapons are shields. I
agree. Characters that use shields as a weapon are sick. That's why I like Captain America, because I think the idea of just fighting with a shield is fucking dope.
Yeah. Plus, it's a great, like, symbol of what your character's about. Like,
yeah.
They put defense first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but sadly to say, the group of people who use shields as their preferred weapon is a very small group.
Right.
Like, there's Kanji, there's Captain America, and there's Goofy. But aside from those three, it's a very small. I can't really think of any on the top of my head.
Me either.
That said, another very cool thing about Kanji is both of his personas.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Now, Take Mikazuchi is very cool. It is a giant skull man with a tiny little head.
And a big lightning bolt weapon.
Yeah. Now, whereas Akihiko felt like his had a tiny head because that was something that was just something that Akihiko had to accept because that's how initial personas in Persona 3 were.
Right.
I feel like Kanji's has a tiny head because he's accepted that he has a tiny head. He's like Okuyasu that way.
Okay. He's basically Okuyasu.
Yeah. But my absolute favorite thing, and I've said this a bunch of times in previous takes, but Kanji's final persona, Rakuten Mao, is based off of Oda Nobunaga.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Oda Nobunaga died in an incident at Hanoji, which resulted in him dying in a fire.
Okay.
Kanji's final persona, Rakuten Mao, is Nobunaga on fire. And Kanji just goes with it. He thinks it's cool.
He doesn't get it.
In the art book, it is said that he doesn't get it, but he thinks it's cool.
Oh, that's great. I love the idea of the persona, like, intentionally taking that form to play a joke on him.
It's either that, or Kanji found out that his persona, oh, this is my persona, Rakuten Mao. I think it deserves some hot rod flames. Then it got hot rod flames, so I was like, yeah!
Yeah, sweet.
And then his persona was like, why are you doing this? Did you pay any attention in those Persona 3 history classes? It's one of the more brilliant designs.
That is funny.
Yeah. It ties into the myth well, which is something not a lot of the Persona 4 personas do.
Right.
The Persona 4 personas, for the most part, are mostly an extension of the character.
Right. The being they're based off of has basically nothing to do with anything most of the time. The only one that does is, like, Izanagi.
Yeah. As well, and to an extent, Kanji's, in the sense that he is getting something wrong.
That's so good.
I believe it's an intentional thing, but they had all the personas look like their users in a mask.
Okay.
And that's an interesting design choice.
Yeah.
It really drives home it's a mask that you use
it's to just a mask you use to face hardships.
But I think it's taken a bit literally. Now, you recruit 2 party members at the same time.
No, wait, we forgot to talk about something very critical.
Ah, yes. Kanji's shadow. We've already talked about this in another video. But its design is the most obvious thing.
It's so funny, but it's, like, funny obvious. Like, Yukiko's, you just see it and you, like, sigh because it's so obvious. Like, Kanji's is so obvious, it's funny.
Yeah, it is a boss in God hand.
Mm-hmm. It's so great.
I especially love how it has nice, tough guy.
Yeah. My favorite is the, like, giant bouquet of flowers that's emerging from his body.
I like the mood swings he has.
It's so great, because this is the kind of shit America would never make.
Yeah.
Ever.
It is a design that only the Japanese would go as far as to make.
Absolutely.
But the mood swings are a personal favorite touch of mine.
Mm-hmm.
How you guys are? Oh, guys!
Hi, guys! Welcome to my dungeon!
Let's get a move on!
Yeah! I also like how his attacks do different things depending on if the target is male or female.
Part of me is curious to see if they program this for later party members.
That would be interesting to find out.
Like, if you hacked Naoto and Teddy into your party, what would happen with them?
That's a good question. Maybe the game just crashes. I don't know. I'll have to do some research into that.
Yeah. I'm sure you can...
That's interesting.
I'm sure you can find some cheat codes, but you may need to find an action replay for PS2.
Yeah.
Well, that's a question for another day.
Yeah. Fifth trivia of the day. What would happen if you use different party members in the kanji fight?
Yeah. You could do some tests for that. You could include glassesless you in prologue. Yeah, that is a question.
Yep.
Now you create 2 party members at once next. Rise and Teddy.
Okay.
Teddy's been with you for the whole game, though, so I guess you could start with him. But Rise is the first thing you see, period.
Yeah. The real question is, which one is less horrible?
There is a side we like to Rise.
Yeah, but that side's only there for all of 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah. But there's not a single good 10 minutes of Teddy.
Okay, here's the question. Who would you rather spend the day with? Rise or Teddy?
Alright. I feel I could get more enjoyment with Rise. Because Teddy is, like, a spoiled asshole.
Pretty much. He's like a spoiled asshole kid.
Yeah. Whereas Rise has some maturity in her.
Mm-hmm. Probably touch her once or twice. Her hair probably smells good.
Oh, I would definitely. I would just, like, steal her first kiss and make sure that people were watching.
Dude, that would end her idol career, though.
Exactly.
Oh, dude! Dude, you would cuck her career and her lips.
And then she would never be Rosette again. I would bring back Tofu Rise in a minute.
Dude, me fucking too.
Hate me.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I mean, what's the point if she hates you? Is it like a sacrifice for the greater good?
It's a sacrifice for the greater good.
Okay.
Plus, I get to kiss a Rosette.
Okay, I think I would also kiss a Rosette.
Rise is the navigator character of Persona 4 and is a very different approach from what Fuka was.
I mean, they do kind of the same thing, just in like a slightly different way.
I mean, as far as personality goes.
Oh, yes.
They could not be further apart in that.
Oh, no, they're totally opposite.
Yeah. And this is where I feel a lot of people are polarized on Rosette. Some people like the kawaii ugu-ness.
I'm not crazy about that myself.
I am not, especially in English.
Right.
Like, it sounds bad in Japanese, but when the Americans try to replicate it, it sounds
it fails horribly. That's part of the reason why I don't like most, like, English dubs in general, is because of the women, usually.
Yeah. Like, we got good male voice actors.
Right.
Like, you may complain, oh, this voice actor is used a lot.
Yeah.
But at least they're, like, pleasant to listen to.
Usually, yeah.
And is anyone hating on Vic Mignogna?
No, I don't believe anyone possibly can.
Yeah. I mean, he was the man. He was the legendary Super Saiyan.
He's Edward Elric in Full Metal Alchemist.
And he did the theme song for Dragon Ball Z Kai.
That is true.
And I love that.
Me too. That's a great song.
Yeah. But as far as our female voice actresses go, it's whenever they have to have a character with any kind of energy, it ends up sounding pretty obnoxious.
Like, I don't think Risei's English voice is that bad. Like, ironically, Chie's new voice is way worse.
Yeah.
With that particular problem.
But as far as vanilla Persona 4 voices go, Risei's
is probably... Like, it's not a bad voice, it's just annoying. But maybe that was the point.
I don't think it was. But she is... Part of why I feel it's annoying is because she is your navigator character.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A lot of lines.
I'll never understand the people that complain about Fuka, but not Risei.
Yeah. I almost feel like Fuka had more lines than...
I don't know, I think they're about the same.
But Risei seemed a lot more into her lines. Her lines have a lot more Risei character in them.
Yeah, Fuka's just doing her job.
Whereas Risei's
like, you go, senpai!
Yeah. Plus, she kind of inherits Teddy's tendency for puns.
Does she?
Yeah. Well, not exactly puns, but she has a lot of quips.
Okay.
Those are like puns for the week.
Yeah, Fuka basically never made quips.
Yeah. Because it's hard to imagine Fuka making a quip.
No, she'd make a quip and feel bad about it, even if it was like a positive thing.
That sounds really cute.
Dude, I have a primal understanding of Fook.
Fuka just making a quip and then feeling bad about it.
And then she doesn't talk for the next 2 or 3 minutes. And they're like, hey, Fuka, what's going on? She's like, nothing.
No, she just says that she's sorry a lot.
I'm sorry.
For the next few minutes. Now, there is one instance of Risei voice that we genuinely enjoy, and that is basically her split personality.
Yes, she's even more bipolar than fucking Yukiko.
Well, not really, because Yukiko goes between two selves pretty frequently.
That's what being bipolar is, I think.
Yeah. Whereas Risei goes...
Risei has more like multiple personality disorder.
Yeah. And she just hasn't gone back to Tofu Risei ever.
Sadly.
Even when she's having a tender moment, she keeps her Rosette personality. That's kind of what makes it hard for me to get behind her, because I never feel like I'm talking.
Right, you don't feel like you're talking to Risei the person. It's always kind of like Risei the idol. And like you kind of get some of the real Risei, I guess, in her social link. Like a little bit. But
she's really in character all the time, because I guess that's what she thinks you want, or there is no real her. I think there's a real her.
There has to be. Like, there's no such thing as not having a real you. That just means you're crazy.
Yeah.
And maybe she fucking is.
That is a conclusion that I can't really get behind as far as Risei's shadow goes.
Right. Her shadow causes us a lot of headaches. Well, not the shadow necessarily, it's just her reaction to the shadow.
Yeah. Like, I can get behind her shadow.
The shadow makes sense.
Especially in the animation where not only is a slutty idol Rosette that she has to deal with, she also has to deal with all the Rosette posters she had to do. All of her selling out. Her shadow design itself is pretty straightforward.
I like it.
My only real confusion comes from the body suit skin. Why is she covered in vaporwave?
My theory, my headcanon for this, is that it's a representation of how Rise has, like, multiple personality disorder, and that's why there's so many different colors.
That's the closest thing we have to anything on that, but it's still not very satisfying.
I mean, not every single piece of them needs to have, like, some deep meaning, I don't think.
That said, I do like that color pattern and would love to have just the texture for that.
Dude, me too. I would like to get, like, a rug made out of that color.
Yeah. I want that to be my desktop wallpaper.
Dude, me too. That'd be sick.
People who, like, rip textures from games, get that.
Rip the texture from that and make it into a wallpaper for me, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Fifth Base.
Yeah, the Fifth Base! Dude, the Fifth Base!
I love how excited you get.
I get very excited when you come up with a good, like, fifth name.
Now, Teddy is something that represents a lot of people's complaints about Persona 4. It is a blatant mascot character.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, Persona 3 had an animal party member, but you never felt like he was a...
He was never a mascot.
Yeah. If anything, the mascot for Persona 3 was Aegis.
Basically, yes.
And Aegis as a mascot is very different from Teddy as a mascot.
Yes.
Teddy as a mascot is terrible.
Atrocious.
Yeah. He is a step below Monokuma in terms of bad mascots. That said, Teddy has a very friendly design.
I guess?
That's about the only good thing we have going for him. Teddy is a shadow.
Yes, that is what Tedo is.
Yeah. And shadows, by nature, have no real restraint. They are what people hide from others. Their innermost feelings and shit. So Teddy just being made up of... Like, Teddy has no restraints. He has no, like, he has no persona that he sets out to show others. He is what he is. He says what he wants, he does what he wants.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck.
He is borderline a child.
No, he is one.
Well, he has a, like, foreigner teenager body.
That's true.
But I think he just made that because that's what he wanted to look.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just came up with it. He's like Golden Frieza. Like, the whole reason Golden Frieza is golden is because Frieza wanted to be golden.
I don't know why Teddy made himself white if he only ever knew Chinese people.
He must have read a book or something about white people.
Do you think Teddy can read?
Do you think he can look at pictures?
Do you think Teddy went to the library and read about a white person?
No, Junes sells books about white people. Yukiko reads them all the time.
What are these books called? Know Thy Enemy?
The Caucasian Menace. That's what George Lucas wanted to call the Phantom Menace.
Teddy's whiteness doesn't make much sense. If anything, I'd say that Teddy should have made himself just look like you. But
I don't see what your problem is with Teddy's boy form.
Well, seeing how Teddy looks up to you and basically picked out that body himself.
I think he picked that body because he figured that body would be the most attractive.
But he thinks you is the most attractive.
Well, if he was just you, that would be weird.
No, just imagine he became you, but cooler. Like, he just combined the features of what he liked about everyone. I'd say my favorite thing about Teddy is that he becomes the mascot at Junes.
My favorite thing about Teddy is the bear puns. Because they're so stupid and not funny that I think they're hilarious.
I think the bear puns is a great touch of the dub, because imagine if they had tried to directly translate from Japanese, and
in Japanese all he does is say Kuma.
Imagine if in the English version, at the end of all of Teddy's sentences,
he just bear or Teddy.
He just says bear at the end of every. And
yeah,
people have been falling into the TV. Bear. There's a pause in there. Excuse me, a pause.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
As it's been stated, Teddy's a very polarizing.
Oh, he's pretty bad.
Yeah, he's fucking unbearable. Some people like him because he's so shitty on purpose.
So they get like an ironic enjoyment out of him?
And some people are like, ironic, Teddy is still Teddy.
I don't know, I'm almost there with Teddy. I'm almost there in terms of like, he's so bad he's enjoyable. But most of the time he's just irritating. Like, I've never liked irritating characters.
Now for the least irritating character.
Wait, we need to talk about his persona and Shadow!
Alright, his Shadow may or may not be real.
What do you mean it may or may not be real?
There's some dumb game theories that say he isn't. And I don't want to neglect that part of our
Okay, well here's the fifth theory. They're wrong. And Teddy is Sans.
Dude, he does have, like...
He has a round body.
Yeah. And giant, like, big old black holes with a single eye in them.
Yeah.
That's a Sans thing. Is a very cool design. His monster shadow form.
Yeah, it's cool.
And his, like, non-monster shadow form is very creepy.
Oh, it's scary as fuck. I like how it's, like, so much bigger than Teddy.
Mm-hmm. And then there is his persona. And he has... His persona changes the second most, I'd say.
Which one changes the first most?
Yosuke's.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like, there's no frog features in Suzuno. Oh.
Suzuno. Well, let me tell you about how Kintoki Doji is like my favorite persona.
Alright, I'm going to mute my mic and have you talk.
Okay. Okay. I love Kintoki Doji to death, and I don't know why. I think I just like round, dumb-looking things. Like Kirby or, like fucking... like Jigglypuff or Slarpuff. I just like dumb, round-looking things, and I like his cape
like
and
your
the fact
mom.
that... Ooh, damn! And I like his cape and how he has a missile, and I like his little mouth. And I like how he's got, like, a vault for a stomach. And I think he's just the best. And then he turns into a shit.
But it is also round.
No, it's not. It's more blimp-shaped.
I think it's still round. Man.
No, it's not. You're wrong.
No, the one in Golden is blimp-shaped.
Yeah, but it's almost blimp-shaped.
No, it is fucking round.
No, it's not round.
Look it up. It is round.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna prove how wrong you are. It is round, but it's also retarded.
Wait, so you think Majin Buu is fine?
Majin Buu is intelligent. There's an intelligence into every part of Majin Buu.
Boo is literally retarded. You know, Teddy and Majin Buu would get along great.
They would, but the difference is that Majin Buu is a good character.
Alright, what's Majin Buu above Teddy?
You see, Majin Buu has never annoyed me too much. And Majin Buu is pink, and that, I think, gives him an advantage.
I don't understand how you think that Teddy is the worst thing ever, but, like...
No, I've never said I think Teddy's the worst thing ever. When did I say that?
Well, I'm exaggerating why you don't like Teddy, but Majin Buu...
so you're making a straw man out of me. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. So can we talk about my waifu now?
No. I'm kidding. Okay, so final question. Do you think Teddy is that bad?
I think that he starts off bad, but will later become that bad.
Okay, I'll agree with you. Right now, Teddy is like he's almost tolerable.
Yeah. He has moments of tolerability.
Yes.
Not even, well, and I mean that literally. Moments.
Moments.
Like, not even a full second. Naoto Shirogane, the best girl.
Boy.
Alright, first of all, her voice is the most pleasant thing to listen to.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Second of all, her design is very simple but appealing. It has a very nice quirk in her dumb pajama pants.
Her pants are the best.
Especially because you can see what she's trying to do.
What is she trying to do?
Alright, so some drawings of Sherlock Holmes has him with plaid pants, but Naoto, because she can't, like, find that in blue, is just wearing pajamas. In her attempts to look more like a manly detective, she wears pajama pants.
Wait a minute. Naoto's not a man?
Well, she's the manliest. She's the manliest character in the party, but she's
Kanji.
not a man. No, Kanji's the most feminine.
No, Kanji's the manly. He's both. Get you a man who can do both.
Well, Naoto is, like, second place in both.
Yes. Ooh, in terms of being feminine? She's second?
Dude, she is the only one who can cook.
That's true. And also sexist. What else does she do that's girl? Like, I think Yukiko has her fucking beat when it comes to being, like, girly. And Rise is pretty close to Yukiko.
Yeah, but Naoto gets embarrassed. And that's feminine.
And that's only girls do.
Well, do you see guys get embarrassed when they have to wear a skirt?
I'd imagine they would.
They do.
Not that I would know.
But her design is very easy on the eyes.
Yeah, I like her design.
Her weapon is the most real weapon out of all parts. It is a gun. And she gets more guns as the series goes on. Like, she builds up a fucking arsenal. She's pretty fucking great.
I guess she's okay.
Yeah.
Out of all the Persona 4 girls, she's probably the most tolerable.
Oh, without a doubt.
I think that out of all of them, she's probably the one that gets, like, fucked with the least. Like, in terms of their character.
Additionally, her, like, issue is the only one that isn't, I hate where I am right now.
Ooh, I don't know. Kanji's isn't like that.
Alright, Naoto's issue is the only one that isn't. Naoto is the one who's complaining the least.
Okay.
Like, her issue is more of a fear of losing what she is right now.
Okay.
And her issue is more about her self-image, what she thinks about herself, rather than the situation that she's currently.
Mm-hmm. And some people have tricked themselves into believing this is about her literally wanting a dick.
Yeah, that is wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
She wants like, she wants a dick just because she wants to check that off of her detective checklist. Like, she has a checklist of things that detectives are, and one of the things she put on that list was male. And she's like,
Male genitals.
no.
Not yet.
Her big tits are canon.
Yes, she has huge boobies.
Plus, they are the only boobus... Actually, wait.
Boobies.
There are 2 boobuses that are shown.
Oh, wait, what are the other boobies?
Alright. A while back, there was on the Japanese Persona 4 website, there was a flash game where you would peep on the girl.
No way. No way. This is a legit thing?
This is a legit thing.
Oh, shit.
And if you did extra good in this flash game, you could see Chie boobuses.
Oh my god, and what were they like?
Tiny.
Wow.
Whereas Naoto boobuses were big.
That's so funny. That's brilliant how she's got the biggest boobai of them all.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's just like something the universe would totally do.
You think if she were a guy, she'd have the world's biggest dick?
No, then it's not as ironic. It would only work if he wanted a vagina. Like, if his goal was to be the world's greatest, like, maid or something.
Dude! If Naoto did allowed her disguise to continue working, by the time the dumb cross-dressing pageant that exists for some reason happened, what would happen then?
Oh, fuck.
Wow, Naoto, you're really good at dressing like a girl.
Wow, those are some impressive fake tits.
Yeah. Can I feel them?
Let me see, what are these things made out of?
Where can I buy them?
She like stuffs a bunch of tissues in her fucking bottom part so it looks like her crotch.
Man, Naoto, your crotch is lumpy.
It's like, why thank you.
That's what crotches are supposed to look like. I would know.
I see mine every day.
Every day when I put on my...
condom. She doesn't fucking know.
Speaking of Naoto's underwear...
Okay.
This is something I've been curious about for a while.
Okay.
Naoto needs to, like, dress like... Naoto dresses like a guy, and she's done this, according to the manga, since childhood.
Right, she's gone to such lengths that, like, doesn't the school literally allow her to, like, do anything possible to be, like, a male?
I don't think even the school knows.
Damn.
Yeah.
Got them fucking fooled. No, there's no conceivable way that would have worked. Because they must have seen, like, a birth certificate or some shit.
Naoto's grandpa is very resourceful.
Okay, I will accept that explanation.
But that has me wondering, like, when she went to the store to buy, like, underwear in her current, like, larger size, like, when she has to buy new underwear, when she's dressed as a guy, what does she buy?
Well, she obviously has to wear, like, boxers or briefs. There's no way she would wear a pantsuit.
Yeah. But then there's when she, like, dresses as a finally for you in the Christmas day.
Yeah.
Did she have to buy pantsuit for the first time ever?
I'm positive she has to have some.
Why would she have some? Like, how awkward would that look?
No, like, she only ever wears that, like, in private. Like, when she's going to sleep, maybe? Or, like...
Why would she wear that when going to sleep?
Fucking shit the fuck if I know, you're right. No, she has to have some secret stash.
How would she buy
It's like
that?
in a vault.
How
it's
would
like the
she buy
Shirogane
them?
family keeps the money and like the gun and the pantsuit in the vault.
But how would she go out and buy pantsuit?
What do you mean? How would she go out and do it? She'd go to a store.
No,
or
but
buy it
she's
online.
A guy.
She'd just buy it online.
I don't think. Does Naoto know how to use a computer?
She has to. She has to.
Use a video camera.
I'm positive she has to have some idea of how to use a computer.
Have you seen her text messages?
That might be intentional. She might be doing that caps lock shit for dramatic effect. Because she wants to be like the cool detective dude. And like, what's more cool than all caps?
I just imagine Naoto having to go to Junes to buy pantsuit.
What if she like pays somebody to do it? Like she gets a proxy to do it.
No, that would jeopardize her disguise if someone knew. And like her grandpa can't do it because then it's like, why are you buying these, old man?
Yeah, exactly. She could just be like, oh, it is for my girlfriend. Or something.
But how does she...
How and what?
Do you think Naoto has the charisma to say, these are for my girlfriend? Do you think she would think of that?
I don't think so. I think the idea of even holding girls' underwear would make her freak out.
Yeah.
Dude, she gets more excited by pantsuit than most men do. Because it's so, like, forbidden to her.
This is the mystery of... This is the real mystery of Persona 4.
Persona 4 is such a well-crafted story because we can have discussions like this. Like, fuck this shitty murder plot. This is where it's at.
Like, what
The
is
more important
Naoto?
question is the bras, though.
She wears bindings.
Yes, but does she have any bras?
Well, why would she have bras?
Well, why would she have pantsuit?
Well, she wouldn't have pantsuit.
Exactly.
But she had to buy pantsuit for you.
Did she have to buy the bra, too, though?
Aren't they sold together?
Not always.
How do you know?
Because I've gone bra shopping with my mom.
Yeah. Speaking of things that confuse me about Naoto's, like, cross-dressing situation.
Okay.
Swimsuits.
Ooh. I don't know if she would ever have that much of a use for a swimsuit, though.
Yeah, because going out wearing one would give her away.
Another problem is school, because at some point she must have had to do PE, or maybe, like, she's doctored some elaborate shit about how she's, like, ill and can't swim? Or can't do PE in general?
She says that she, like, doesn't participate in PE activities because she's always running around being a detective.
I don't think that's true. I think that's just an excuse.
Golden.
I think that's an excuse.
That's something she says.
I don't care if that's something what she said. I can say I have a vagina. That doesn't mean it's true. It is, though, but that doesn't mean that it's true.
Well, yeah, Naoto's swimming also brings up confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Because entering water destroys all disguises.
Yeah, that's the end of it, if she's in the water. Because then those things are fucking floating.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like if Naoto was there for the dumb beach event in Golden, she'd have, like, dumb floaties on. If this was after she joined the party, but if it was before, she would just show up in her detective clothes and watch from afar.
I can see her doing that. What if she's in a situation where she literally has to swim?
Or else what?
Or else, fuck if I know. What if there's, like, a kid drowning and there's nobody else nearby? What if the murderer left a clue in the middle of the ocean?
Alright. If there was a kid and no one else nearby, she would initially let him drown so that he passes out.
So there would be no witnesses.
Yeah. Naoto hiding her gender is Kira hiding the fact that he's a serial killer. She goes to extreme lengths to preserve this facade.
Okay.
She waits for the kid to pass out, dives in after him, awkwardly swims to him, swims back.
Probably never swam in her life.
Changes clothes.
Wait, does she just have a set of clothes that she just keeps?
Yeah, she keeps it in her hat.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So that's what it's for.
It's next to the guns.
Okay.
She changes clothes, then performs CPR.
Okay.
That is the Shirogane technique. Jokes about Naoto aside, her shadow is one of the more interesting.
Yeah.
Because it seems to have like some split personality thing going on when it's not a monster mash. And then when it becomes a monster mash, it's the only one that has some subtleties going on.
Okay. Such as?
Alright. Let's get ready to talk about the subtle brilliance of the Shadow Nout.
Okay. Let's get ready. Oh boy.
Alright. So Shadow Naoto has an exposed brain.
Okay.
This is representation of, like, Naoto's pride in her intelligence and how that's what people see her for.
Okay.
It's pretty on the nose, but not as on the nose as
Birdcage Yukiko, yeah.
Yeah. The dumb ray gun and jetpack are things that Naoto typically associated with, like, little boy, like, media, like an Astro Boy or a Feather Man. This shows, like, Naoto's sights of herself as still young, too young to be a detective.
Okay.
As well as her, like, association more with male hobbies and female ones. Naoto is very sexist that way.
Okay.
And then there's just the thing that I think is really cool where half of her body is exposed machines and the other half is hidden by her cloak.
Okay. What does this represent?
How Naoto hides herself with her cloak.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There's some subtle brilliance here.
It took the whole Atlas think tank to come up with that one.
Yeah. Like, they tried, like, using just a single think guy for Birdcage. And we know how Birdcage turned out. So, in comparison to that, Shadow Naoto is as deep as it gets.
Deep.
Plus, it's just a really cool design that I like.
Yeah, I like Shadow Naoto.
Yeah. And then her persona is just fucking adorable.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. I like how tiny it is.
It's so tiny. And it looks like a Detective Conan Kamen Rider Naoto fusion.
That's awesome.
Like,
it has a lightsaber, too.
This is what Naoto wants her persona to be.
I don't blame her.
Her evolved persona is Yamato Takeru, and for some reason it takes on an admiral look. Because, like, Naoto's into boats or something?
I don't know.
Naoto's
You're the Naoto expert here.
There's nothing that hints at Naoto being into boats. I don't see where boat captain comes in.
I don't know.
Why are you dressed like a ship's captain?
I don't know. I didn't make Persona 4. I made Persona 1 though.
No wonder why it was so dog shit.